Hello, fellow budgeters. My name is Brandy, and you're watching From Debt to Dreams. And on this channel, we're paying off over $400,000 worth of debt. But don't you fret, way more than half of that is our mortgage. Hi, I'm back. I haven't made a film. I haven't filmed anything for YouTube in like 2 weeks. And, so I feel like I'm a little rusty, but I have so much to tell you. I just got back from a missions trip to New York City, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life, not just because it was New York City, and New York City is amazing, but also because of all of the spiritual muscles that I got to flex while I was gone, I should say. So let me just tell you really quick about what we did, and I'll just throw some pictures up here while I'm talking. So our church sent a group of 7 adults to New York City alongside a group of 70 plus college students for a missions trip to partner with an organization called Global Gates. And Global Gates is pretty awesome. I'm going to link them down below in case you have any interest in hearing anything about them. They are a organization that goes to large cities that are like world hubs, almost like places where a lot of refugees will come, or just immigrants. So they're in New York City, they're in I think it's Dallas, somewhere in Texas. They're in Toronto, I believe, and a couple of other places in the US. And their focus is to spread the gospel to unchurched people groups. And so hopefully that they would find someone that is willing to hear about the gospel of Jesus Christ, but then also learn and grow in their faith with Jesus, and then want to share that message with their own people, so that it's not just white Christians evangelizing to these unchurched people groups. Because the studies show that when it's someone from your own people group who knows the culture, knows how to communicate with people, understands what else all of the trauma and everything that they have endured, then the gospel will thrive more with those communities. So we were sent out. We had a ton of kids, obviously, so we were all sent out all throughout the city. My group was sent out to the Bronx in a little community called Little Yemen, and we were one of the first teams. I understood that we were one of the first teams they've ever sent out to Little Yemen. The Yemenis Muslims are some of the most conservative Muslims in all of the Muslim community, and so we were having a really hard time getting the women to just make eye contact with us. So we spent a lot of time prayer walking and working alongside the individuals from Global Gates that have kind of adopted this area to be the area that they want to focus on, and learn more about the people, learn more about their country, learn more about their current religion, and then learn more about the community that they're in New York. And so we were just told to try to talk to as many people as possible. We were told to bless the businesses as much as we could through buying from them or talking to shopkeepers or whatever. And then we were also told to, did I already say prayer walk? We did a lot of praying. So it was it felt a little bit some days like a disappointment, because I was there to learn how to spread the gospel and to evangelize to people, because I have a really weird past where I grew up in an area where people would evangelize, go door to door and evangelize to people. So like, this is kind of one of the harder parts of my faith, is learning how to evangelize to people without like shoving it down people's throats, because that's never my intention. But we did have trainings from Global Gates so that we weren't doing that, like learning how to have conversations with people so that this stuff would come up naturally in conversation rather than it being something that we're just like shoving down their throats every time we talk to someone. So actually ended up being really great. It did feel a little disappointing because we just could not get these women to look at us or make eye contact with us because they are so conservative in their Muslim beliefs. There was some points in time where we were walking up the street and they were coming down the street and they ended up crossing the street to walk on the other side and like not even share the sidewalk with us. So, that part was a little disappointing. We were able to find one woman who we were able to talk with, and she was so sweet, and she shared her treats with us. We met her in a bakery, and she was just so kind, and we learned so much about her life, and we really feel like we were able to kind of plant a seed, but she's going through a lot right now and was kind of scared to continue the conversation with someone other than us, which was sad, but she did seem interested in it. There was just that fear of holding her back a little bit. So, and then the men in our group did a really great job with talking with other men. They were fearless and just talked. And like, one of the cool things we learned about this group of people is that they do love to talk about religion and they love to talk about spirituality, whereas sometimes in America, we don't really like talking about it. It's not one of the things that we're talking about regularly with other people who are outside of our faith. And so it was kind of cool to be able to step into some of these conversations or listen to the men having conversations with other men and kind of see how those conversations went. So if you are a praying type, if you can continue to keep the people of Little Yemen in your prayers, the ones that we were able to meet and interact with, they were so kind. And if I was in a place in my life where I was a college kid, I would think about moving to New York City to work with Global Gates and continue to reach that community. But I'm not. I'm almost 40. I've got children. We're established right where we are. And unless God really tells us it's time to go, it's time to go. On our free day, we did get to go to the New York City Memorial, which was real, or not the New York City Memorial. We went to the 9/11 Memorial. That was really, as someone who was in high school when that happened, that was kind of sombering, but like something I've wanted to see for a really long time. So I was really excited to be able to get to go see that. We went to Rockefeller Center. We went to the FAO Schwartz store. We went to the Nintendo store. We went to a really great pizza place in Hell's Kitchen. Gosh, what else did we do? Into Times Square, and it was really great because I saw the Jonas Brothers have released a podcast while I was gone, and there were ads for their podcast in Times Square. So like that was really fun for me to see my favorite singers on this screen in Times Square really quick. I had just happened to look up when we were walking by, and there they were. I didn't even know that was going to be there, and I didn't see it again. So like that was pretty cool. Let's see, what else did we do? We just had a lot of fun. We stayed in New York School of Urban Ministry. So that it's called NYSUM, and that's in Queens, Astoria, Queens. And so we got to walk around Astoria and explore that a little bit. And we found a bakery. If you're in that area, Serrano Bakery was fantastic. We ended up going there 3 nights in a row for coffee and baked goods. So it just was a really good time. Thank you all so much for the prayers you had for me before and after we went. Thank you so much for those of you who contributed to my mission fund. It really means the world to me. And I just thank you so much. It just was a great experience. And I love New York City. I love it. I don't think I could ever move there. I don't think I could live there full time, but I loved getting on the subway every day. I loved walking to a bagel shop every morning to get a bagel and coffee. I loved walking so much. It was fantastic. So, okay, let's get started. So, we have $50 here, 20, 25, 30, 35, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. So we have $50, and what we're doing is we're working through this Harry Potter savings box that was made by the Budgeting RT, and we're just going to keep playing cards until we're out of money. So let's do this one. Okay, we have Luna Lovegood. over here, and she's add $2 and she's $4. So we'll cross her off right here and put in 6. There we go. All right, next, ooh, we have some from the trolley. Oh my gosh, okay, so we have, here we go, that's $6, and then add 3 for 9. Let's see if I have a dollar in here. I do. We'll take that dollar out and we'll put in a 10. All right, oh, save any amount. Okay, so we're gonna keep that out. So I'm gonna just save, let's roll a 6-sided dice and see how much we're gonna save. And then we're gonna put it in Gryffindor, because Gryffindor is whatever money is in this envelope goes to our emergency fund when we're all done with it. So $4, okay, is there a dollar bill in here? There is, for a 5. All right, we're gonna put that save any amount back into this. Oh my gosh, $3 next card, okay. And the sorting hat challenge. So whatever we get for the sorting hat challenge, we're gonna add $3. So we're gonna need our 4-sided die for this. Let me get it out. Here we go. And we got a 1. So Gryffindor gets another 1, and we're gonna add $3 for 4 to this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're gonna leave that plus $3 in there, I think. I don't know. Nah, let's put them back in there. We want to save as much money as possible, right? Oh my gosh, the sorting hat challenge again. So here we go, where we're at. We have a 2, so that's Slytherin. So Slytherin and Gryffindor, neck to neck. That is pretty cool here. All right. We're going to put this back over here. These are going to go back in this pile, and I'm going to keep doing the sorting hat challenge until we reach the top of something, I think. I don't know. I haven't decided. I want to save as much money as possible. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there is the diadem from a Horcrux. Here we go. $8 plus 4. That's 12, right? And then we have the Horcruxes complete. So 10, 11, and 12. Wow, wow, wow. All right, $1 next card. We're going to put it over here. There's the Phoenix, which should be in the creatures. Question is, where did I put the creatures? Here we go. There we are. So, okay. So it's $2 plus $1 is 3, plus we have to roll a d6. So right now we're at 3, and we got a 4, so we're at $7. 5, 6, and 7. Okay, how much money do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we only have $6. Hopefully it's not too much. Times 2 of the next card. Oh, let's see. And it's a potions. Okay, so we are making Amarentia. So let's go to the potions. And let's see how much we're going to be. Plus it's times 2, so it's going to be way over $6. So we have the mushroom for 1, the acorn for 4, so we're at 5, plus the leaf, which is 3, so that's 8. And we're doing times 2, which is $16. And I have this money back here, but I don't have. So what we're going to do, we are going to skip this times 2. Because I don't really want a super huge, I don't want an $8 IOU. But I want to save as much money as possible. And I only have $6 here. So I need $2 over here anyway. These are just like leftover dollars we've had. So we have the $8 for the potion, and then we need a times 2. So I really think we need an IOU. I think we need an $8 IOU because I just want to save as much money as possible. Well, that's a bummer because that means we only have $42 to play with next week. And actually, I have the money for next week sitting over here. I'm going to pull it out already so we don't have this. So we need $16. So I'm going to pull a 10 and take these 2 ones And so now we should have $42 in here. We'll count that in a second. And this should be 16, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've satisfied everything. And now we only have 42 for next week. 10, 15, 20, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2. Yeah. So that's kind of a bummer, but you know what? That's okay. So we'll put the money there for next week. And we were able to go through 1, 2, 3, 4. We were able to finish 5 cards today. That's pretty good. I keep thinking about like when we're ending this. And okay, so now let's shuffle these back in here. I keep thinking about like how much more we have to go. And I think we'll be finishing this around, I think I did the math and it was like the end of, or like mid-July is when we're finally going to finish all of this. But let's see. All right, let's put this on these cards. So here's what we have left. A lot of those are probably like save any amount or like bonus cards and stuff, which is fine. Once we've finished, like we'll go through all of there and like once we've finished everything. So anyway, let's go through what we've got. Okay, so Gryffindor, we added $5 because we had to save any amount and we rolled a D6, I believe, right? No, it was a 4 and we took a dollar out. So we have 20, 40, 60, 65, 70, 1, 2, and 3. So 73 in Gryffindor, and that's going to go towards our emergency fund when this whole thing is over. We did not put anything into Hufflepuff, and that's going to go towards debt. In Ravenclaw, we put in $6, which is so exciting. We only have one more icon left on there. So in Ravenclaw, which is going to go towards car care, we have 20, 40, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, and 70. And I'm going to put the money right in front because we have, I need the marker to dry on that. We didn't put anything into Slytherin, and that's going to go towards Sadie Mae. In creatures, we put in $7. And so altogether, we have 20, 40, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and $60. And that's going to go to Myers Trips. Okay. Nothing got added into faculty, and we have 2 teachers left over. We added $9 into the trolley, and we took $1 out of here to make up for that. So now we have 20, 40, 55, 56, and 57, and that is going to go towards annual fees, which we have a deficit in our annual fees, if you remember. We need to get, I think, $80 into our, like, to even out the car care, the car registration. All right, so we added $12 into the Horcruxes today. So let's count how much we have in here. 20, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, and $51 in Horcruxes. And we have finished this one, and that's going to go towards my husband's professional licenses. So that's exciting to know that that one is complete. In potions, we had that ×2, so we added $16 in here today. And so we now have, come on. In potions, we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, $101. Oh my gosh, what happens in potions? Goes to gifts. So that's actually really good. We love to give things to people just randomly. Plus we have a lot of people that have had babies in our lives really frequently. And I've got 2 people that I'm making baby blankets for. So like that money is needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, $6 was added to the sorting hat challenge today. So we now have 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. $35 going to birthdays whenever this one is finished. So very cool. That's where we're at today. So that makes this video a little short and sweet as always, or not as always, but as usual for this one. I'm going to put these cards back in here so I don't lose them. And I'm just going to thank you once again for listening to me talk about my time in New York City. For those of you who prayed and or gave me some financial support for that, I really appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing what the Lord's going to be doing in Little Yemen. And I'm also happy to be back home and back on a routine. And yeah, that's all I got today. All right, friends, I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. I'll see you tomorrow for a play and pay. Bye.